Alright, people, so we got some news breaking from DAZN. It says here, this is from the DAZN website as well, I've seen a few people reporting on this today, that DAZN takes boxing to new levels with the Ultimate Tier launch. That includes, and this is the crucial bit, that includes pay-per-view. The poster, it says, introducing Ultimate, 12 plus pay-per-views, one subscription. So this is the new tier that we've been hearing about from DAZN. We've been hearing whispers and, stuff like that, that certain things are going to be changing up DAZN. It says here on the website as well, it says DAZN has launched a new comprehensive plan that delivers major boxing events in one simple subscription known as DAZN Ultimate Tier. The new subscription level will continue to give fight fans a smorgasbord, never really heard that one before, but a smorgasbord of the best and biggest bouts in the world with 185 fights per year, plus per year, but rolled into a package will be a minimum 12 pay-per-views per year. That's an interesting one. So it says it's a minimum 12 pay-per-views a year. Because I had seen a few people on X basically say words to the effect of, well, what happens if there's 13 pay-per-views? So it's basically saying plus. So that's from what I can gather, I think that's them basically saying minimum pay-per-views we'll be doing a year is 12. And then, obviously, if there's any more, there's any more. So this essentially includes said pay-per-view. So let's read on further, because I want to get a bit of clarification on this. This means more choice and flexibility in how viewers buy and watch world-class events with a pay monthly and upfront annual subscription options. DAZN Ultimate promises to give fans access to the most comprehensive lineup of live boxing and on-demand content in a single, plain and affordable price, with a saving of more than $535 and £320 per year, compared to if they purchase 12 pay-per-views separately. Well, how much? So I've got a calculator here. So how much is Ben Eubank? Let's just say £25, and we times that by 12. That's a fair bit. It's actually a fair bit, to be fair. It's actually crazy how much, and in the US, God almighty, it's even worse. DAZN standard subscription members and non-DAZN subscribers, now this is the crucial bit, can still buy pay-per-view events as a special one-off cost. So essentially what they're saying by this new Ultimate Tier is, from the looks of things, it looks to me as though if you're paying, and does it have the pricing listed? Because I'm scrolling down, does it actually have a, it does it? Yeah, no, does it? Yeah, it does. I'll carry on with the article. I was just curious to see price-wise and stuff like that. But yeah, essentially what I'm gathering from this is that if you want to do a 7-day trial, obviously if you buy a pay-per-view, if you buy Ben Eubank, we'll say, you get the 7-day trial, you can decide what you want to do then. If you're just standard DAZN, which I believe the price for standard DAZN, correct me if I'm wrong, is about £10 thereabouts, maybe a little bit more expensive. So if you have that and you want to stick with that, essentially then you can carry on paying that, but you're paying for the pay-per-view as well, which, judging by what the pricing I've seen there, might actually work out dearer in the long run. So that's interesting. Additionally, Ultimate subscribers in the UK and US get every Serie A match, including in the offering, and will also benefit from enhanced viewing with HDR and Dolby 5.1 surround sounds for selected events. The launch is perfectly timed with the blockbuster fight coming in the next 2 months. That includes the pay-per-view events Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn 2 on November the 15th. Next week, we'll be working very, very hard on that one. And the Ring Magazine 4 Night of the Champions on November the 22nd with Benavidez and Yard and Devin Haney in action. Following on is December the 27th, Ring 5, this Night of the Samurai featuring Naoya Inoue. All will be part of DAZN's new Ultimate plan. I would assume that means that December the 13th is scrapped, because there's no mention of that there. Shay Segev, CEO of DAZN Group, said, when DAZN entered boxing, we immediately challenged the status quo by bringing some of the biggest fights in the sport exclusive to streaming. We are shaking up things once again with DAZN Ultimate launching an evolution of pay-per-view that will make boxing more accessible to fans. DAZN Ultimate reflects our long-term visions to build a sustainable, fan-centric ecosystem for boxing that rewards loyalty and delivers unforgettable experience. in boxing, DAZN is the world's leading sport entertainment platform. It's the home of top promoters and partnerships, including Riyadh Season, Ring Magazine, Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, Frank Warren, Queensbury, while regularly partnering with Jake Paul's most valuable promotions. DAZN Ultimate launch is in more than 170 countries, including the US and the UK. New subscribers can join via the DAZN website. There's a lot of stuff there, and it's actually quite a good list between now and the end of the year. November, there's a fight card on. Like, obviously, we've got Virgil Ortiz, Erickson Lubin on this weekend. Shabazz Massoud versus Peter McGrail. That's going to be on December the 13th. That's not the Frank Warren show, by the way. Diego Pacheco as well. So there's a lot. There's actually quite a good bit to look forward to. Now, with regards to pricing, so DAZN Ultimate Tier will be available as a subscription in 170 countries, including the US, for a price of $44.99 US dollars per month, and a UK price of $24.99, 25 UK pounds per month. UK new and upgrading subscribers who join before the 1st of December will receive an exclusive introductory rate of $22.99 per month for the first 12 months. Following this period, it will then move up. So essentially, if what I'm gathering here, right, if you were to join that, you'd be paying 22 quid a month, and that includes pay-per-views. So if you're paying the regular rate, which again, I'm just going to chuck an arbitrary number out there and say it's £10 a month, right? Well, then Ben Eubank would be essentially £35, $34.99. And then you'd have to pay for the pay-per-view the following week. And then obviously, so for me, that does kind of work out quite good. And it is obviously, look, DAZN, when they first came into boxing, their whole notion was, we want to be the end of pay-per-view. And we did hear Turki Al-Sheikh saying words to the effect of, for Riyadh shows that they won't, coming from November 22nd, which is obviously not the case, that Riyadh shows or Ring Magazine shows would no longer be pay-per-view. And I guess in one sense you can kind of say that is the case. You have to get the Ultimate Tier, however, in order to get that. But it would eliminate the whole pay-per-view. So it would eliminate the essential extra cost, So there is that. So essentially, long-winded one here, but from reading that, I would gather that if we are getting 12 plus pay-per-view events per year, that they're all included if you get the Ultimate Tier. Whereas if you just stick with standard DAZN or don't have it at all and just want to do it once off, you're paying the full Monty, the full whack. So it's an interesting one. They launched that today. I got a few notifications about it as well. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. The Ultimate Tier, albeit more expensive, it does give you access to all those pay-per-views. Because I know pay-per-views, that has been the word doing the rounds. A lot of people have been really, really, really not best pleased with regard to the level of pay-per-views and the amount of them that have been certainly over the last, this year in particular, but certainly over the last couple of years, realistically over the last 2 years. It just seems as though pay-per-views have been just being rinsed lately, which, again, you have to go back to, say, I know it's a long time, but you go back, say, 7-8 years ago. Pay-per-views, they happened for AJ fights, for Fury fights, and certainly in the UK for Dylan White fights because he was a pay-per-view star at the time. If it wasn't one of those guys, you could get decent domestic clashes and they would be on standard TNT, is what Frank Warren was using then, although it was BT Sport back then, or on DAZN, or Eddie Hearn was still doing Sky, and DAZN were kind of just coming into the sport really back then. But yeah, things have changed a lot since then at the pay-per-view model. For me personally, I think that this is a good idea because the pay-per-view model to me is outdated. It really is. It really, truly is. And I think that Netflix really showed that you can do a mega blockbuster fight. And obviously Netflix, it's very different. It's well established. I mean, it's worldwide and it's not known for sport. They do sporting events now. We know that. But it's known for, all the TV shows it has. It shows that, if it's done the right way, you can do big events, not have to have them behind the pay-per-view paywall. So I think this is a good thing. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts below. I hope, as always, people, you enjoyed the video. If you could, smash the like button, hit subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. And people, until next time, I will leave it there. Peace.